this final season 4 edition of Caribbean House Talk. Woo, God, what a season. Right. What a season we've had. And I have a wonderful, wonderful surprise to our guest. Amalfi Estevez is with us for this final episode. And she promises to be a friend of the show where she'll pop up from time to time. Okay? She may not be on here.
You know what that.
Yeah. She may not be on here every episode, but she'll pop in a few times during the season. Okay? We'll make sure we kind of hold her down for that. Okay? So welcome, Amalfi. We're so happy to have you.
Thank you.
This was the original 4 that started it, and then Mrs. Harrison was a wonderful addition, and then there was 5 of us for a while. And then Amalfi had some other things she had to take care of, so she wasn't able to be with us on a regular. But we are so happy to have her back with us and to have her be a friend to the show. We got a lot of response to people who would say, well, who are you going to get to replace Amalfi? And it's kind of hard. We just kind of did it, the 4 of us, because you're kind of hard to replace.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
I feel very happy
so we're happy to have you. We're so happy to have you. Welcome home. Remember, this is always home. You're always welcome to come here. All right. So, we're going to start off as usual with our spicy dish segment. And I must say that with spicy dish, we don't know what might be in there, because we might have a number of things in there that most of it may be nothing. Maybe none of it would be anything provocative or sexy. But sometimes there may be something there that's not quite appropriate for small children. So we must say with the spicy dish segment that you probably would be best not having small children in the room in case something kind of a little risque, a little sexy popped out. All right, so ladies, are you ready to roll?
Yeah.
Well, we are going to give our first pick out of the spicy dish to Amalfi, our guest, friend of the show, if you will.
That's my new name.
Yes, friend of the show. Okay. Listen, you can always come back and be just part of the show.
Let's see. Is it okay for kids to hang out in the parents' room?
Okay. Is it okay for kids to hang out in the parents' room?
That depends on how old the kids are.
Listen, I don't know about you all, but I got a 15-year-old and a 14-year-old grandson. I got a 34-year-old. They all hang out in my room. That is the community center of the house. Mm-hmm. But it's not in an intrusive way. If I want to rest, I close the door. They would never enter without knocking. If the door is wide open, especially my mom is over, they'll come in and hang out on the bed so Granny could feel the love, and Raquel may be on the bed, Amir may be sitting off in a chair, Joseph is in another part of the bed, I'm in the chair, my mother is here looking out the balcony, and it's a community center. Now I would say that is a little risky in the sense that, let's say that you are married or have a steady boyfriend, that might be a little tricky.
Okay.
I don't have a man that lives here at my house. I don't have.
A man?
Sorry.
Let's just put it this way. He lives here, and he don't have sleepover privileges. So my house is open to my children, but like I said, they never would enter a room if it's closed. Because sometimes I just want to be in my underwear, and it's not pretty. My underwear is pretty, but what's
That's it.
over the underwear is not that pretty. So they respect that. But I do let them. I do have like an open door. Sometimes we have 2 bathrooms upstairs and one on the first floor, and one person might be showering or using the bathroom, and somebody want to use a bathroom. They just run into they're not, but they run into my bathroom and use it. So we have quite an open door policy, which, like I said, when I had a spouse, it wasn't that easy. You know what I mean? Because you have little cuddle moments and whatever. Not good for kids running in and out of your room. But
I don't have that problem. But my children don't come to my room either. Anyway, they'll come once in a blue moon and lay down on the bed. And, sometimes one time my son fell asleep on my bed. But that's about it. I really don't have that issue. I don't have them coming, hanging out. They don't want to be around me. If I'm in one section, they go in the other. And, they avoid us. Mm-hmm. So, but every now and again they come. Not too often, but
I guess I'm so confused with this question. Why it's a big deal? My kids have always hung out with me in my room, and I go to their room and I hang out and we talk and whatever. If me and my husband are in the room, I mean, not sleeping like doing
right.
anything. They'll come in there, we talk. I don't think I understand
yeah.
what.
I think some people would have a total different approach, and I think cultural. I think it's a cultural thing. I think I don't know. That's what I think. I think it depends on the culture. I think American culture traditionally, kids are not necessarily just in the parents' room. Sometimes they are, but it's not seen as the norm. I think where I came from, yeah, our parents had their room and we weren't allowed to just bust in there. But actually, I just took that back because we were not allowed to go near their room. I wonder what was going on in there. But anyway,
Maybe something. If the door is closed, of course they're gonna knock on the door. But on a normal basis, my door is open.
yeah,
And they come in there, hang out, I'll do their hair, we talk, we watch TV, I go to their room. But when doors are closed, we respect doors.
right.
And you knock.
Same thing with my children, but in terms of hang out, my room is a community center. Everybody hangs out there. My mother's here. My mother stays with me in my room, and the kids all come in. But even when my mother's not here, they'll come. My daughter will come climb up on my bed. My bed is like she called it a horsey because you got to climb to go up on this high bed. And she'll climb up and she'll tell me about her day or about whatever. My son, he's a little bit more reserved now that he's going to that teenage stage. And the funny thing is, I don't go in their room except when I don't want to criticize how they made up their bed and to redo it. Oh Lord, I got to stop that. Lord have mercy. Don't say anything. I literally they'll make their bed up and it's not to my liking, so I go in there and say, that's not how you do this. It doesn't look good, and then I have to put the plug. That's a whole other story. Anyway,
Ms. Harrison?
I have rules.
yeah, Bruce.
Yes, I do.
So he doesn't just come and hang out?
No.
Is it because it's an opposite sex child?
No, it's because I want my room to be clean and organized and be my peace. I have the same thing with my office at work. So I don't think it's about my room. It's about
Your
me
space.
having,
Your
it's my
space.
space. And if I allow my 11-year-old to come into my room, he often wants to bring his toys. And then it becomes like a playroom. And my room is not a playroom. So I do have restrictions.
I don't know if it's the hot tea, but okay. I don't know. And these lights, these studio lights, throw off a lot of electricity, a lot of heat.
Ms. Harrison?
Miss Harrison, did you have an open door policy with your children, or even like your grandchildren?
As you said, it's cultural. They could come, but they knew when to come. They knew when to come, I guess, because we talked about if the door is closed.
Right.
There's a reason.
There's
probably just want to be left alone.
But there are times when they would, two boys, they'll show up on the bed, and like Saturday morning when nobody's doing anything. But it all depends on the family, I think.
Yeah.
How you structure your household.
I don't know what I'm feeling.
Yeah.
Really.
I got to take it to the hospital.
Yeah. No, that type of thing is just slow perspiring. Okay. Flashing, I guess. And I've had one this is funny. My moringa helps with that. Yesterday, I don't remember what was going on. I had a lot of stuff I was preparing. My relatives were over. My mother, I had to go pick her up. And I didn't have my usual regimen yesterday.
Yeah.
So I think I need to saturate my body with my moringa.
Moringa, yeah. I
Get rid of them little private summers, those matches. Because I haven't had one of these in a while. Ooh.
And we haven't even said anything that's spicy either.
I know.
In our spicy dish.
I know. I know. This is a spicy dish is actually pretty.
Something else going on, Trish?
No, honestly, I think I'm drinking
Did you
tea.
ask her about a man?
Yeah, that's what I said.
And she started
Now she said,
sweating, right?
Sweating is like, what is?
My mouth is always trying to.
No, because I know you. You look very happy.
I'm good. Let me tell you something.
Oh,
I'm like the average woman that like that little cuddle session and have that romantic whatever, but I get over it real fast when I think of the trouble that often comes with that. Listen, my picker is off, so I try to. Okay, that's another story.
Yeah, let's move
That's
on.
enough story.
See, a monkey comes here and starts
Starts trouble, you see?
Oh, not me.
Oh my gosh.
I'm just sorry.
Okay. I'm a little slow this morning, sorry. Is it selfish to have children at an old age? Is it
Okay.
selfish to have children?
Okay, so you know people having their children in their 40s and even 50s.
So
is that so?
Is that what you call old?
Well, I mean, I'm not gonna tell nobody my age, but my next year. Oh, okay, I'm not gonna lie. You all know what my Okay, I'm not gonna tell. But
No, what's wrong with that?
I'm at a
Doesn't
certain
mean
age.
wrong.
I'm at a certain
With
age
saying how old you are?
where I was 40. I was okay.
Everybody
Let me
know how old
Okay,
you are.
I don't know.
I'm proud of that.
Okay, well, how old are you?
Women having babies after
Uh-huh.
45 or 50,
Okay.
is that
I'm
what you
60.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
Women having babies after
what age?
45 or
After
in their 40s,
yeah,
50s.
45.
You now have 50s, women
Mhm.
having babies.
I had my son at almost 45. He's 15 now.
That girl
And-
Jackson had hers at 50.
Right, 50,
Who?
whatever. Janet
Janet
Jackson.
Jackson.
Right.
I had a baby at 50. My mother had me when she was 50.
Mm-hmm.
So,
So is that a selfish thing?
But
I don't think so.
Why would it be selfish? I think it has to do with the person.
I'm not saying it is. I'm saying there's some people that believe it is. Like,
I don't
how
think
long are
it's
you gonna be around to
selfish.
take care of that child? That's what.
I don't
people
think
say.
so. God has a way to
things
make
work themselves out.
It works out. You know, it works out.
If I'm thinking in terms of, are you going to be able to play with your child and then you are a certain age,
Right.
that may be a little selfish. I don't know, for some people, I think that you become, the older you get, supposedly you become more tolerant.
Mhm.
I don't know that that's true.
Mhm.
So,
I think you become less tolerant
I
when it
think-
comes to children because I don't think you have the patience. Young kids can be very trying, very active, and the older I'll speak for me. The older I get, my patience gets a little bit less.
Well, let me say this.
You know,
I had
but-
my son at nearly 45. I'm now 60 years of age. Okay, there it is, ladies. I'm 60 years of age. I
That's
just
not
finished
too
my
bad.
60th birthday, and I think he is the best thing that ever happened in my life. Because I had Raquel when I wasn't. I just tried once it happened. With him, I had to go through quite a bit, which I covered in an earlier show, how to get to have him. And so he was quite a planned baby. But when I tell you, it is not an easy thing. Because at 60, this mama bear, I done been to Mawa, New Jersey to take him for practice. I got to take him every Monday, Friday for practice. Dad takes him on Wednesday. Got to make sure he gets to school, get picked up for lacrosse. Got to make sure he go get that haircut. That's not to say I regret. No, it keeps me on my feet. It's starting to keep me on my feet. But I'm saying it's not an easy thing. And I see people now in their 50s having children. And I'm saying, oh gosh, no. Are you going to have the energy?
I think that's
I think when money plays a big part, that's what I think.
Mm.
When you're well off, wealthy, you can have children at 60 because you can afford to have the nannies who come in and take care of that child and takes the child off your hand at a certain time of day.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't say it's selfish, really.
But I think it
Yeah.
does beg for people to consider how involved you're going to have to be and are you going to have that energy. You know what I mean? In one way, I think like it does keep me younger in that I can't stop and think.
Right.
And moan. He needs basketball. I need to keep this kid safe. I can't just say, like we had, for instance, a basketball practice in Mawa, and his dad said to me, there's another kid, and maybe his parent could take Joseph. And I said, no. So I went and I did, and it's learning how to do things that make it easy on yourself. So what we did, I rented a hotel room instead of coming back and forth, because he had a tournament. So they were going from one day into the other. So a lot of people just came back and forth both days. We rented a hotel room close by. We had a ball because we had a room service, we went out to breakfast and blah, blah, blah. And we had a good time. But it takes a lot of energy. I still am at an age where I think it was okay to have him and still have some energy. And thankfully he has a dad who's in his life. He did not know a child who has a fatherless type situation. But in the 50s and stuff, if you're not a person, like you said, with great wealth who could make that easier for you, I think people need to think about that. Because are you going to be able to do that child's justice? You have to go to their school to meet with their teachers, take them for haircuts or get their hair done, and make sure they take a bath, and make sure they have sports. You got to take them, family vacation, things that, in other words, at 60, I'm not at the stage where I could just say, I'm going after Sydney's and go put my feet up at my house. No, I have to figure out either I'm going to take him with me, or do it at a time when, and take him out of school, which I don't want to do, or do it at a time when he's out from school. So it limits my movement. So I think what I'm trying to say is, people, when they're having kids at a late age, you have to stop and realize, when you get in that 60s and stuff, you're still going to have a young child to take care of. So are you up to it? You have to be up to it.
Yeah.
Okay?
And
I'll have the resources.
And healthy.
And health, like Caroline said, I feel that I should have had my son earlier, because I'm tired. Mm-hmm. And he's gonna need me for the next 7 years. Mm-hmm. Also, your circle, family and friends, they're usually at another stage where their kids are already under 20s. So that's they're doing things that you wish you were doing, and you can't because you have a responsibility. Mm-hmm. And if you're a responsible mother, you're not gonna go out there, you're not gonna go on trips. Doesn't mean that you can't.
But if you want to be responsible, you don't want to do that.
You are limited, because you also don't. I have my mother, thank God, but I'm not going to throw my son every time to my mother and say, because it's my responsibility. Mm-hmm. But it limits your ability to go on vacation, to go out, because you have to be responsible and say, he has school tomorrow.
Because he has to be a priority. He or she has to be a priority. So, like I have a daughter who still lives with me, right? And she has a son almost his age. So we co-parent beautifully, in the sense that some things I can't do, I know she'll do. But like you said with your mother, it is not her child. Just like I wouldn't let her throw her kid at me and she's all over the place. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to do it with my child.
I shouldn't.
You know what I mean? And I think every time I get, oh God, I pop myself right up and say, you had this child at a late age. He was not no change your life, baby. You went away to have him. And you need me to make sure that above everything else, that his safety is a priority at all times. I think for me that's what kind of poked me up. It ain't easy, but I know what I went through to have him. I remember having 2 surgeries in order to be able to have my womb be able to get a fertilized egg that would healthily implant itself. And I almost died. At one point, I had to go to a cardiologist because the anesthesia started to make my heart go crazy. Mm-hmm. So they had to send me to a heart doctor, and then I went the second time, and that time, oh my God, I didn't think I would make it out of that center. But I did what I had to do, because I had fibroids that were removed years later. And I'm saying these things so that people who maybe suffering with that, this would have some education about it. So I had fibroids about 11 years before. And when I had my son, those fibroids, where they removed them, had done scarring. So many eggs had tried to implant itself, but there was no healthy spot in the uterus. So they had to go in and literally remove all that scar tissue from the uterus, and then put a balloon in there so that it heals without sticking together and heal healthy. And then the trick is, now you got to get pregnant quickly, because that's going to scar up again eventually. Mm-hmm. So because of that, quickly getting pregnant after the surgery, I had a lot of bleeding. And I also think that some of the other fetuses that had fertilized, I always said I think he was one of 4. I had 3 miscarriage type bleeding. And after that, this one was there, and he was clearly the healthy one, and he survived. Yeah. Right? So, because a woman at my age, we're going to go through the little fertility treatments, and that does cause eggs to kind of split crazy, and they end up with the 4 and 5. But this gentleman was Jojo was the one that was the healthy one, so he stayed. I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world, but it's something, if you're going to have children later and you don't have the resources, and you're not an energetic person that would want to do things, you better think twice. Yeah. You better think twice, because it's gonna require a lot of energy. Yeah. All right. So, who got it last time? You did?
I don't know.
Okay. We have to do the 12.
Oh, I got
the last one. I can mix it up, but there's only one in here. So, ooh, okay, here we go. Okay. What places on a woman's body is likely to show their age?
Okay. I know
That is so
one.
funny.
I
Yes.
know of many.
Well, I know one specifically,
What is it?
and I'm wearing it.
What?
Hair.
Oh, okay. I don't
Yes.
think it's quite that, but
Yeah.
okay. Okay.
Well,
But that's
this
but you want something? I've known you like I was saying earlier. I've known you since you were in your 30s, and you had the gray hair.
I understand
and-
that, but it shows. You know, that's
You just said I'm not gonna be bothered with the Diana and all that. So
No,
you just-
I'm not.
okay.
You know, this is why I'm embracing my white hair,
Mhm.
gray hair.
Mhm.
I like it. It's keeping my hair
Healthy.
healthy because
Yeah.
I don't have to dye it.
Right. Right.
So, yes, that's
Okay.
one place that it shows.
Okay.
Okay, the elbow
Oh yes.
is a giveaway.
Oh yes.
Elbow?
The
No,
hand,
the hands.
yes.
The neck.
Mhm.
The neck,
And
I
the
know.
neck,
That's
oh my
gonna
God.
be like one of the
The
first
neck
things.
Mhm.
is a giveaway, and the hands can be a giveaway.
Mhm.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
could be a
that's true.
giveaway, yeah.
This
Hands
here,
show
but the
age.
elbow,
Because on your hands, the veins thin out,
is yeah.
and that's when it starts. It's like you have to age because even though you might do this and that to try to stop it, it's there.
Mhm.
You know, it's coming. But I know the elbow. I can always tell a woman's age when I see her elbow.
Well, wait, what do you
Most
mean?
times.
What is it, wrinkled or?
That
what?
It's a little
Because-
hanging.
And a lot of women, they cream their hands, but they don't work on their
And
elbows.
it's dark.
So it start every
Getting
time
ashy
you're
and-
always
yeah.
on here, and then it gets dark.
Oh, okay.
And it,
Well, yeah, dark.
I have a special brush for my elbows. I was not.
You mean you're exfoliating?
I exfoliate that elbow because I don't want that
Oh,
dark
yeah.
spot on it. Yeah.
Oh, maybe I should try
But
it. I
but
didn't
it's
know
going
that.
to wrinkle.
It's gonna wrinkle.
It's
and,
going to wrinkle.
and also, I don't think there's an exercise for that. Like the elbow, you know, like how can
Yes.
you strengthen?
Oh
Yeah.
yes. Oh yes.
Yes.
Well, you know, also, of course, in the face, like, I noticed even for me, like, I don't recall having, like, this line here when I was younger or lines here.
Oh.
And so as I've gotten older, they've come in, and I try my best not to frown. I used to frown a whole lot because I can't see. And every time I frown, and now I have the lines in my face and in my nose. So you can always see that. You can see age in the face and under the eyes and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Things that people wanna. I guess you can correct all of this.
And then you go to
But the one thing you
surgery.
cannot correct though is the neck, cause
Oh Lord.
yeah, I don't
Except
care.
for
You can't
tucking
really
that,
correct
yeah.
that.
But you know what I do? I use I have a regimen I do every morning. Okay, I can't call the brand name on here, but I use a cleanser. Okay, I do my face, not so much my neck, but then I do a day cream with a pore minimizer and a moisturizer, and I do that, and I always go up like this on my face. I don't go rubbing all over the
Yeah.
place.
Not
And
having
then
muscles.
I do this. I take what's left
Yeah.
and I put.
Yeah.
I'm
But
60
you
years of
can
age. I don't have any.
You can exercise your neck too. You know.
Yeah, they
I have. I mean, I'm not looking
You have
like
to
I was.
keep doing.
they have a new.
You know.
Oh.
You can
So you
exercise
can go like
your
this?
neck.
they have yoga.
Yeah.
Yoga for
Yoga
the
for
face.
Oh,
the
look
neck.
weird. Look
Yeah,
at.
and from
yeah.
everywhere.
Oh.
You exercise the neck,
Mm-hmm.
and then you keep doing it.
Yeah. I just always.
My neck is showing up because I had surgery on my neck anyway, so it's gonna show. But I tell you, I want some money to just inject something and straighten it out. You know,
No, then you gotta
Look, yes.
I am
Funny.
ready.
You are?
Yeah, I am. I am.
Oh,
Actually,
you a top?
My son is getting married next year, and I'm going to do Botox because I want my cheeks to be high.
You're
Are you
serious?
serious?
I am serious. I'm saving money for Botox.
Oh,
And
gosh, no.
why did I say it on the air? Because
No, listen.
I
It's about being honest. We're being
I
honest.
was not about to tell anybody that I was doing.
Right. No,
Well, you told him.
Because if my face is tight, you're gonna wonder what the face is sides.
But you don't look your age.
I don't want to look my age.
Okay.
I want to.
But I'm saying,
I want
with
to
nothing
keep
done,
looking
you look
good.
wonderful.
Well,
Your
I'm
skin
going
is
to
beautiful.
do something.
Okay, but you know what? To each his own. I'm learning, you know, if whatever makes people happy.
I don't like my cheeks at all.
You never like them already?
Nowadays, I don't like my cheeks.
Okay.
Like I have high
And
cheekbones
before I go to
naturally,
bed,
so.
this is what I do every night. Hoping that they would go up.
That it will stay
Yeah.
there?
I'm going to do something. You bet.
Good luck.
Okay, good luck.
Yay.
Just make sure you
I
get the
mean,
best doctor,
if-
do your research, and whatever makes you
Yeah,
happy.
but if it makes you feel better about yourself, you know, you do whatever it is.
Well, you missed the fall show.
She sure did.
we did something on another show that you weren't, that episode when you were not here, and it was about would you, but we started out talking about would you let your underage child do plastic, a teenage child do plastic surgery. So that's more where we were coming from. And then we touched a little bit on just plastic surgery in general, but we were mainly saying you're young, you're still growing, why would you want to do that? But you are a woman of a certain age, you want to, you know, puff it up, so to speak.
I'm ready.
It ain't my cup of tea, but hey, if it makes you happy.
But Irma, you won't know, because I won't tell you.
I will see. I will see.
Well, you just have to, but
I
don't
will
say
see.
anything to me
I
when
will
you
say
see.
something. You know I'm going to say something. I will have to say something. I can see that and my mouth don't start flying.
Oh,
you know my
Jesus.
mouth. It will fly. I'm like, what did you do?
Oh my God.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to go into our Their Help Team segment of the show. You are watching QX TV, Cultural Experience Television. We will be right back. Visit Elias Restaurant, a unique Greek Caribbean fusion restaurant where the food is heavenly, the service divine, and the ambience mesmerizing. Enjoy bakes and saltfish, roti, jerk chicken, curry chicken, stew fish, oxtail, curry goat, stew turkey, pea soup, culford soup, sorrel beer, ginger beer, Slovakia dinners, clubhouse sandwiches, and so much more. Visit Elias Restaurant, located at 3310 King Street in Toronto, Canada. You are watching Caribbean House Talk. Okay, welcome back to Caribbean House Talk. So now we are at the Dear Help Team segment of the show, and this is usually things that are informational, educational, if you will. And sometimes people ask us to discuss it. I might see something on TV that I say, you know what, I want to tackle that one day. You know, just maybe an experience that we might have or somebody we know have, you know, so we try to bring that stuff to you. The first topic is, would you, to what extent would you go to protect your whereabouts from a possessive ex? You know, you have an ex who is stalking you or going through some stuff. What would you do, or what do you advise people out there to do? Most of you ladies have probably never been through anything like that. I've thankfully not been through anything like that because I probably would be in jail. But anyway, but if you had a possessive ex, or you have a child that has a possessive ex that they can't seem to get away from, what are some of the things? Well, I would say the first case, you get an order of protection. But don't get a false sense of security from just getting a order of protection. But at least that's one way to start. I think making sure that some things like your phone numbers are not listed. Most people today only have a cell phone anyway, so they're not worrying about house phones and where that address is. I think trying to be in public as much as you can, making sure you have people with you as much as you can. And if you don't have anybody with you, because everybody can't have somebody with them all the time, be aware of your surroundings.
Yeah.
And most importantly, I think don't send double signals. If this guy's possessive and you're done with him, or girl too, because some of these girls out here are crazy, be firm about it.
Yeah.
Okay? Be firm about it and make sure you stay safe. You know, this came up with, I was watching one of the Housewives show, I'm not going to say which one, and one lady was saying, they were saying that they think this lady doesn't have a home and she's jumping all over the place. And, you know, they kind of knock each other down on these shows, which I don't like sometimes.
Talking about.
You know what I'm talking about? And they never stopped to think that there might be a reason for it. And she was saying that she had a child from one relationship, and then there was another child that she now have with her new boyfriend, and they're married now. They just got married. But in the process of trying to keep safe, she has had multiple places where she lives, and be very careful about her movements. And they're not knowing that. They just started looking at it as something negative. Oh, she's doesn't have any place to live. She's hiding and what have you. So I would say be aware of your surroundings. Get your other protection. Make sure you have people with you as much as possible. And be very firm. And don't ever slide back and let this person say, I just want us to be friends. If you have an obsessive or possessive ex, you can't be friends with that person. Okay? You don't have to be cruel. You don't have to be nasty. Just, I'm done. Okay? We're not a couple. We will never be a couple. You know, wish you well, though, with everything, and just be firm about it.
Sometimes you just have to disappear. Just fall off the face of the earth. Sometimes it's to that extent that you have to go.
And that's a terrible thing, though.
Yeah.
Just imagine that you're in a situation where you finish with somebody and that person will leave you alone, and you have to curtail your whole way of life. You have to disappear.
And keep running.
Yeah.
It's
That's so demeaning.
They want a relationship because they know there would not be a relationship. It's just a possessive kind of attitude they have.
It's a mental illness.
And a bullying thing too. It comes down to bullying that person because you have this person feeling so insecure and running and hiding. Every little bush break, that person got to look wrong and start thinking crazy thoughts like, it's just not healthy. It's not a healthy thing at all, and it happens. It's sad to say it does happen.
Oh my God, I tell you, the crazy world we live in, but you're out there facing something like that, you want to be careful with that. Now, next item is on their help team is, how would you react to someone you thought did something wrong in public? So you're in public and somebody did something that's inappropriately. Or something that's inappropriate. How would you react? Are you that type of person that would just say, tell them out, I don't like it?
I would walk away.
You what?
Yeah, I would walk away because I might say something that's...
You see the look I gave her, right? Because I'm like, oh God.
I would walk away, honestly, because you don't know who you're dealing with, number one. You don't know, it might look wrong to you, but it might not be wrong to the person who did it.
I think for me...
And you're in public, it's not somebody that you know.
Well, that's the difference.
Away.
If it's somebody I know...
If it's somebody I know,
I would
no.
not tell them in public, but I would pull them aside or wait till I have some privacy and say, I don't think that was cool. I shouldn't have done that. If it's not somebody I know, yes, I'm not, because you're dealing with crazy out there. You don't know who you're dealing with.
Yeah, it's a give and take. It's a give and take.
If it's a friend, I'm going to call him out.
Yeah.
It's a friend, yeah.
If it's a friend, I'm going to call
If it's not a friend?
If it's not a friend, you mean somebody I don't know?
Right, you're just outside and somebody did something crazy, but it's not necessarily a friend. Might be that you know them, but you're not a friend with them. Maybe you don't know them.
Well, I probably would keep moving.
Yeah. It's not a friend.
Keep out
it's
of
not
that person's way.
somebody you know.
I don't know.
Keep
If
moving.
it's, I wouldn't want to.
What do you think?
I don't know, Trish. I don't know what I probably would tell them to stop. I will say something. I will find a way to say it in a polite way, but I will probably say something. I won't.
Yeah, I've been known to open my mouth. And
Yeah,
say
I
something.
will.
I
Because
mean,
some things just
some-
off me,
sometimes I
but-
don't, but usually, I'll say something.
Yeah.
Well, I was in the bank the other day and this person came in and went in front of me. I wasn't nasty, but I said, excuse me, I was standing here. Is there a reason that you went in front of me? Oh, sorry, I didn't know you were on the line. I said, I don't know I'm on the line, there are people behind me. And then the person, profusely, apologized or what have you. And well, I just didn't answer.
Well, that type of thing, I would say something to.
No, that's not gonna happen to me.
Yeah, I didn't care who he was. Well, actually, it was she. I didn't care who she was. I wasn't nasty. I just said, "Ma'am, I was standing here. Is there a reason that you went in front of me?"
But Trish, with what goes on in today's world, Sometimes you have to protect yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, you don't know what to say to who nowadays.
But at the same time too,
You know?
you can't be so
You have to be very
cowardly
careful.
that you can't speak out for something that bold. Like I'm standing here, there's a line. You go in front of me, and I was talking to somebody. So I think I was talking to one of the branch managers who went by, and I was like, "Oh hi." She had some issue going on with her house, and I was, you know, I have a relationship with them, so I was talking, and I think she thought that I would not notice.
Or maybe she was distracted. There's a lot of
Distracted to leave a line of people and cut in front of one because you see her talking to somebody? I don't think so.
People tend to do that, cut in.
It's just rude.
Yeah.
And I'm a very, as you guys know, very blunt person. I don't have to be vulgar. I don't have to be mean-spirited. I don't say things to people that I think would hurt their feelings or be unnecessarily rude. But I'm going to, certain things, I just can't let that slide because you have to think the next time. Yeah. You know?
It's true.
But that's just my opinion. All right, so we're going to go right into the holistic section. We're going to do more of a recapping of some of the things we covered for holistic health on season 4, because this is our last episode for this season. You'll see us again in the fall, but we're not quite at the end of the program. We have a lot more show coming up for you. So we're going to talk about some of the things that we covered. I think at a previous show we covered the benefits of basil, okay, and we covered on another show the benefits of lemon, the benefits of apple cider vinegar. We covered things like benefits of papaya, benefits of rosemary, green tea, the benefits of honey, and we give a lot of really good holistic stuff here. And again, we always say that when we give you something in terms of holistic health, we're not giving you that stuff so you could go forego your doctor's treatment or go mix this stuff up with medication. You got to be careful. Like my mother is on a ton of medicine. I mean, she in the morning, I think she takes like 9 pills, and I think in the evening 8 or 9. That is not somebody you go give any of this stuff I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. You don't know how as good as that is by itself for a healthy person. You don't know how that's going to interact, and you also don't want to try to play doctor. I have, for instance, a family member who recently passed away, and she had a thyroid condition, and she had lost a lot of weight. But what she didn't know is that she also had something cancerous going on inside, so the thyroid kind of threw things off. Mm-hmm. So at one point she started, and then she was doing better. After she took some medication for the thyroid, she was doing better. But then she started losing weight again and thought it was the thyroid again. Now, I don't honestly know if the cancer was going on at the time of the thyroid, but she definitely did start losing weight again, and she started some holistic treatments. And by the time she got to the doctor where she couldn't breathe, that cancer had gone from her breast spread all over her body. 44 years of age, she was a dead woman. Okay? So I say that to say we don't want to get to the point where we are not going to our doctors and just doing holistic stuff, or we're mixing it with our medication, or we're stopping our medication and not doing it. But a lot of this stuff is, in my opinion, you are an otherwise healthy person. You are a little or no medication. Maybe you say mom and dad has a history of strokes, a history of, I want to do some holistic things that would at least keep me healthy, keep me, moving healthy. I would say if you have any kind of medication, you go to your doctor and say, I'm thinking of doing this, what do you think? What's the worst? He'll say, no, don't mix it, or, it can't hurt. Maybe it won't do any good, but it can't hurt. But be careful. But a lot of this stuff, what came away from me, for instance, I was talking about basil earlier, and a lot of stuff that we covered have anti-inflammatory properties. Mm-hmm. And I could absolutely tell anybody that I use a lot of some of the things that I talk about, and I feel the difference in my joints. I look at Dr. Oz a lot, and I believe in Oz. I really do, because he's not one of them that push with all his drugs, but he also is very responsible how he does things. So when we did the benefit of basil, I saw that had anti-inflammatory properties. I saw that.
How are you using the basil?
You could make tea from it. You could put it in your food. You could, that's basically it. You could put it in, like if you're making lemonade, you could put put some leaves in there and it will absorb it. I think also I was talking about lemons and the benefit of apple cider vinegar. And apple cider vinegar is good for so many things. Just to clean you out, clean out your arteries, clean out your system. I was saying that, one of the things that I do, if I have indulged a little bit too much in the sugar department, like I'm not diabetic, but my mom and her twin sister were diabetic and one of my uncles. So having that family history, I'm always very careful watching my starches and my sugars. And I've used my moringa, I use my guava leaf, I use my cinnamon, I use my stuff. And this is one of the things that I say to people, if you're on medication for those things, that's not to play with. You're better off popping a pill and think of it as a vitamin. Then you end up with a stroke or heart attack. Don't be crazy.
Sure.
So when we give this stuff on the show, we are not talking about, go finish your doctors. No, we're saying, in addition,
This is like a supplement.
A supplement, and check with your doctor before you do it. Okay, we want to be responsible here. All right. Anybody have anything regarding any of the things that we covered in terms of holistic stuff? Anybody use any of them?
Tamarind, we covered tamarind.
Tamarins, we did that, yeah.
Yes.
It's good. I told about my dry eyes since in my older age, I've been suffering from chronic dry eyes. And they had some tamarins from Taiwan that they sell. The one in the green box because the others are either too sweet or too sour. Too sour. So I bought the one in the green because it's kind of medium, and I've always loved tamarind. So back home I buy tamarind balls and stuff like that. And I had no clue it was good for dry eyes. All of a sudden, I didn't have dry eyes anymore, and to this day has never come back.
I think it's just for you.
And I just accidentally found out it was good for it, and I said, "Oh, that's what happened to it." Yeah.
But it's not helping my dry eyes.
Do you eat it?
Yeah, a lot.
Oh yeah.
And the doctor had to stop me from eating tamarinds because I too much potassium.
Oh, that's another thing you do have to be careful.
I would eat the box in 2 days.
No, I don't do it that. I buy a box of products, lasts me a week. I take a few every night and I eat it, and that's it.
Okay.
I haven't had it in a while because I stopped finding it in the supermarket that used to have it.
Yeah, I find it. But the very sweet ones.
I don't eat the sweet ones.
No.
Because first of all, I know that tamarins are not a sweet thing. So I know they're doing something to modify that.
Yeah,
to
why
make
is
it
that?
sweet.
Why is that so?
They
Some
grab
sour
it,
and
I
some are
guess.
sweet.
They do something. They're doing some genetic engineering with those
To the
plants to
sweet
make it.
ones.
They're not supposed
Tamarins
to.
are not salt. And that's, if anything,
That's sweet.
the green box is not that sweet.
It's a
So
green,
the green
box,
box-
I buy, but where I buy it is sweet.
I buy it and it's like sweetish but sourish.
Yeah.
And you
Elements.
notice the sweet one is just a little more dry and tough than the
Yeah,
regular
yeah.
one.
Is it like a bark that you're buying?
It's
No,
a pod. It has a pod
it's a-
with this thing in there with some seeds, and you just suck and suck and suck.
Got it.
Yeah.
I think we covered turmeric.
Cover
Yeah,
turmeric, yeah.
turmeric.
Yeah, that is one good.
Curry is a good thing too. In terms of,
Then we cover cloves.
we did an all-year show.
Cloves, right?
I think we did clove.
And one thing with cloves, if you have some place where you don't have access to a dentist and you have a toothache, crush some cloves if you have some and stuff it into the teeth, and it would help to go as an anesthetic for this.
And it flavors whatever you know.
When I do my punch, my rum punch, I need
Yes.
some cloves up in that.
Cloves.
Ooh.
And the other one is there's one called linseed, but in America they call it something different. What is it?
I don't know.
I know about it, but I never used it.
You
I drank a
you
punch.
take it out of you grind it up and I forgot the name of it. But
Is it the thing that it's like a pod and it's like a star?
no, these
I've
are
drunk the punch.
Aniseed? Aniseed?
No, not aniseed.
No, linseed. I had it like somebody gave me a punch with linseed, but I don't know what the linseed itself
Well,
is.
linseed in the Caribbean it is more linseed, but in the stores here, once they grind it up, it's called something different, which is very good. Something meal. I can't remember. Oh my God.
Do you think it's still healthy? Like, I know a lot of these things you're saying, you buy a bark, you buy the leaves, but a lot of the herbs like rosemary and turmeric, things like that, they come dry, powdered.
Mhm.
Do you
I
think they
brought
still
back-
have a good effect?
Well, I don't think as good as the natural one of the
Right.
raw thing. Like I can't went to St. Vincent and I never knew what turmeric looked like.
Right.
I was able to get the yellow and the white turmeric. It's white just like ginger, it just doesn't have the ginger taste and looks just like ginger. It's a root thing.
Oh.
And I brought it back, and what I have observed since it's finished, I use a powder one. I'm not saying it doesn't help, but not the way that
Right.
real
No,
one
it's
was
not.
helping.
Well,
But the real one is in the supermarket.
Yeah,
Where?
it's expensive.
I can't
though.
find it.
Yeah, the real one.
I can't find it.
Yeah,
It's
in the supermarket
Food
now.
World.
Where's Food World?
$3.99
Down
a pound.
on Merrick.
I gotta find out because I
If you
can't
go
find it.
if you go to
It's
Key
not in
Food-
Western Beach.
Key Food on Central Avenue, they have it.
Okay.
I get it there in little packs, but sometimes they wait, and I think it's $3.99 a pound.
Mm-hmm.
But you grate it, and it's very.
I just slice it and put it in my tea.
potent.
You guys know me and my tea. I get my moringa, I make tea bags out of it. I get my guava leaf, I make tea bags out of it. I put my my cinnamon, I put a little piece of ginger, and I cut up the turmeric just like that, put it in there, I put some rosemary, and I got a potent cup of tea, 30 ounces, and I drink that the rest of the day, and I am good to go. Look at my skin, darling. Okay, 60 years of age. What 60 look like if you take care of yourself? But let me say this though. Let me say this while we're on this whole holistic stuff. My grandson has, as most people know, I've spoken about it in all your shows, a autoimmune condition called panvasculitis, polyarteritis nodosa. And arteritis is not arthritis, arteritis. It's pretty much a whole bunch of big words for inflammation of the medium and small blood vessels. But if it's left untreated, it could affect major organs like the heart and kill him. Okay, so this little boy was suffering and losing weight and full up with inflammation. We didn't know what was going on. It took a biopsy of a piece of his foot to figure out when they saw a red spot appeared. Now here's what the point. I mean, you're saying all of this to make a point. What we were saying earlier. What we did, we took him to a holistic doctor. We took him to a regular doctor, and they were able, after much fighting with them and so forth, what's going on with my grandson? You know, if something happened to him, you guys are gonna, have something on your hand because I don't feel you're doing anything. But in all honesty, the condition is very rare, and even more rare in children. They have not seen it in children his age, so we don't know why he was picked to have this thing. But anyway, they were immediately put him on steroids, and then we had to work with them for the last almost a year to wean him down.
Yeah.
Monday he's going to be off it totally. He's down to like 2.5 milligrams, from 60 milligrams to 2.5 milligrams, and he's coming off on Monday. A lot of people who have this, they have setbacks along the way. With Amir, we haven't seen that setback. And one of the things that I believe is because you know the guy, Chris, he had an autoimmune condition. He told me about it, but it's separate, but most of them have something in common. So he gave me the name of 2 books, and he gave me a doctor that he used, a holistic doctor. We never stopped his regular doctor. We went to see the holistic doctor. We felt that it was more of a money grab. She was sitting there Googling stuff and didn't know what the hell she was talking about. So we didn't continue with her. But the books were very helpful. It taught us the types of food, natural foods, to lower him up on so his inflammation level stay under control. So while he's coming down off of that steroid, he has to watch how much he exercises in terms of contact sports. So I think like twice they said his inflammation had increased slightly. So when they were supposed to lower it, they said we're going to wait an extra 2 weeks. And when they went back, it was all good. And he eventually, we started implementing, like we cook with a lot of turmeric. We cook with a lot of curry. He doesn't like ginger, but my daughter has hemp seeds. Yeah. So we had to. This kid is funny. He doesn't like this. Once you know something is in there that he doesn't think is good, he wouldn't eat it. I hate to say it, but we had to kind of trick him to make juice out of with some turmeric in there, and he wouldn't know. But these are herbs. These are not even. These are herbs. It's like you were putting in your seasoning. So we made those a regular part of his thing, but we never came out his regimen with his doctor. We discussed with the doctor. We told her what we were doing, and she was good as long as we weren't trying to get him off his medication irresponsibly. So even though we knew that a lot of stuff really is good for him and would help him, we didn't do any kind of irresponsible thing of taking him off his meds you just take him to a holistic doctor and be done with his regular doctor. No. And in our fairness, I think the doctors, here, well, I always say that they're too much with the drugs. They did do the responsible thing with this guy. He was full of drugs. Of information. He needed to have some steroids to bring him down. Then we had to be responsible and get him on the steroids little by little. Because steroid could be a miracle drug in one way, but it's very dangerous if you try to stop it too radically. So, again, holistic stuff is wonderful. Just be responsible. Don't take anything we're saying as advice against what your doctor is doing with you. If you have to do something, go talk to your doctor. Tell them what you're planning to do and see what they think. Okay.
And they may not agree with what you're going to do in parts of the holistic, because what they know and they were taught in school is the science part.
Drugs, yeah.
So they doing what they were taught. I don't. When I speak to a doctor, I listen, because there may be something in there, like you said. Okay, we can use this from the science, or we can use this part from the holistic.
Right. Yeah. I used to have chronic asthma. At certain times of the year, I had chronic asthma. I never went to the hospital, thank God, but I had horrible. I'm there from work. 2 weeks I'll be off from work. Can't go to work because my asthma. One of the things I started to look at is the triggers. I got rid of all the carpets in the house. I started to eat more healthy. My doctor, of course, wants to just keep me on an inhaler, which has steroids.
That's how he gets his salary.
Right.
That's how.
He gets his little thing from prescribing that. And I started using got rid of the carpet, and I started eating more healthy, being conscious of the type of food, less processed foods, more healthy foods, etc. Little by little, I did not need for years. I have not touched any of those drugs. When I go to him, he said, "How is everything going in your inhaler?" And I didn't answer right away because I didn't want to lie. And he said, "It must be working wonderfully." And I thought to myself, "No, it ain't, because I ain't using it." But I don't tell people if you have asthma and you're having symptoms, then you go do that. But I'm saying you might want to look at holistic things you can do to clean up your environment, to eat things that are more healthy. You can't hurt from eating less processed food, because that's what half of this stuff is. That's what's triggering half of this stuff. So.
But you took responsibility.
I took responsibility.
For your health.
Right. Exactly.
But Trish, I must tell you, I took 5 doses of cortisone in my back and 2 in my neck, and those are steroids, and I was blowing up and feeling so, couldn't understand what is going on. I get up in the mornings, I'm like this old lady, I can barely put my foot on the ground. So I decided I went to the doctor, and the doctor says to me, well, we have a program in the office where I could give you needles in your feet, in your legs, or someplace that can diminish the and to lose the weight and all that. Yeah. I thought about it and I said, no, I don't want any needles. So I said, give me a nutritionist. And I've been going to that nutritionist for 2 months. I've never felt better in all my life, because I'm on an anti-inflammatory diet. And I'm telling you, your food really counts in your body.
It can heal
it's
you
like
or mess you up.
Your medicine.
That's so true.
Because I've never felt this way for a long time. Good. Really. It's like, wow. So that's why you say I'm not really tempted to eat your food or anybody's food. Now I take a chance because I'm feeling good, but I'm telling you, I feel so much better. So those steroids that you talk about, they really are a killer.
Long term, they're very bad. Long term. But sometimes you may have conditions where you can't help but use it. But what you want to do is walk with your doctor to look at it from a holistic standpoint. What can I do to clean up my diet? Go see a nutritionist. Don't just stop the steroid, and be careful. Okay, if you just stop it, that could be a big problem. That could be a big problem. So, okay, so we are going to take a break. And when we come back, we're going to do a news of the day, and we'll be right back. You are watching QX TV, Cultural Experience Television. We will be right back. Visit Elias Restaurant, a unique Greek Caribbean fusion restaurant where the food is heavenly, the service divine, and the ambience mesmerizing. Enjoy bakes and saltfish, roti, jerk chicken, curry chicken, stew fish, oxtail, curry goat, stew turkey, pea soup, cow soup, sorrel beer, ginger beer, Slovaki dinners, clubhouse sandwiches, and so much more. Visit Elias Restaurant, located at 3310 Q Street in Toronto, Canada. You are watching the Caribbean House Talk. Okay, welcome back to the news of the day on Caribbean House Talk. You know, this is our last episode, and it was so nice. Not the last period, we don't want to have anybody be depressed. Last for season 4. We're in our 4th season, and this is our last show for this season. You'll see us again in the fall, but you can go to our website anytime or go to our YouTube channel and look for CUEXTV.com. That's CUEXTV.com. Also, during the time that we're on hiatus from taping the show, we're going to be doing some promotional stuff. One of the things that we want to do is a trivia, where you watch the season, and then we come with some trivia, and the first person to email us the right answer gets a gift. Okay, we're going to surprise you with a gift. Depending on your interaction with, sending us feedbacks and ideas and your interaction, we might even have you on a future episode. We'll see about that, but we definitely will be sending you a gift. And we're going to have something that says, okay, this person is a fan or a super fan. We may have super fan of the season, a super fan of the year. So we have quite a few things coming on. So it's important that you watch all of the episodes of this season, so that going forward, that's how we're going to do it. We're going to tell people, watch the episodes, send us feedback, pay attention to the topics discussed, because we're going to ask some questions at some point, and the first person who responds correctly is going to get a gift. Okay? We appreciate you as our fans, for all of the involvement and keeping us going and keeping our spirits up, so that we know we're doing a good job. We're going to, before we end, we're going to quickly just talk about some of the topics that we covered for news. One of the things was B. Smith. She's an African American. They call her the Black Martha Stewart. I think she has like a line in, I don't know if it's linens and things or one of those.
Restaurants. She has
restaurants. Yeah. She has a brand. She's a very well known lady, and in an early stage of her life, in her 60s, I believe, she came down with dementia, and it progressed very badly. And her husband eventually had a girlfriend, which is he's still a young man, because they weren't that old to begin with. They don't have children, but he got a girlfriend, and he cared for her, and the girlfriend is there caring for her, but they're in this woman's house caring for this woman, and a lot of people had a problem with it, because they're saying, this girl is there. How do you trust that she'll be taking care of her in a way that is best for her? Right. And a lot of people have problems. Let's be honest. The fact that she was a white woman, these are black folks. I think for me, I didn't care whether he's black or white. I think my thing was, how disrespectful. I felt it was very disrespectful. Like, have your girlfriend, and why do you have to tell us about it? Have your girlfriend, and I felt like it started to smell like she was getting ready, like she was walking this and getting ready to write a book or get a movie deal on it. I just felt, I had no proof, but I just felt like him, the mistress, and the daughter, it smelled to me that they were getting ready to get some kind of movie out of this. And I thought it was despicable. I thought it was disrespectful mostly. And I felt, if you had those needs, because you're still a young man and you want to still take care of your wife, but have your girlfriend, maybe have a separate place to your girlfriend, I don't think any one of us would have to know that. But I think to make that public and think that somehow that is being justified, I think it was quite disrespectful.
So what's the outcome on that?
We're not hearing much in the news, because I think he got a lot of pushback from people that said it's disgusting. And where her relative that would let you do that? Like, you don't want to divorce her because she got the millions that you want to get your hands on, but you bring a mistress to live in her house? So that was disgusting. Another thing that we talked about is Jesse Smollett. He's the black actor on Empire, who said that he was attacked, and the people who attacked him were two white men who uttered homophobic and racial slur, and that he was beat up and all of that. And then the police had a problem with it from day one and put it out that they didn't believe him because some things just didn't make sense in his story. And I would say that the story did have a lot of sauce on it. Sauce meaning that in a good way, meaning it did seem weird. But then the mayor was all up in arms, and I felt it is quite possible, and honestly, if I'm going to be honest and say where I'm leaning, I think I feel more like there's something not quite right with this story. I feel that.
Okay, but
I'm not sure.
We don't really want to debate it because we kind of differed
right
on what we thought about that.
So I'm going to go to the other part of it. So I felt that I didn't quite trust that show was authentic. That maybe it was a publicity stunt.
For who?
For the actor. I felt that he was lying. Because the two guys that they found out got it was two black guys. They weren't white. And they just happened to be walking around with a noose and chemicals and knew that a gay guy is going to come out at 2 o'clock in the morning to go to get some things that they could throw this. Something about the story didn't make sense. However, I felt the way that the police prosecuted this to the public and the media was not right. I felt the way the mayor got personally involved, and I think he only did that because he knew he was not up for re-election, because a lot of black folks will have a problem with that. Like, you got people who do a lot of stuff they shouldn't do. Why are you going so hard with this? And the whole thing was, they wanted to throw the book on him, 16 charges, blah, blah, blah. Then when the district attorney realized, this is not even worth, because he already ruined his career. It's not even worth, and they dropped the charges. Then why did they drop it? And now they're suing him. That's the latest. They're suing him now for the money that they put into the investigation. I don't even have a problem with that so much in the sense that, except for the fact that I don't see them do that when it's white defendants that do the same thing. And I felt like it was overkill. I felt it was overkill.
Well, to put the police's story on what they think happened was one that you have to kind of, turn ahead to too, because their story didn't sound so good either. So we're not gonna. That was one where we'll never know really.
Right.
What happened.
We don't know. It could very well be
between Jesse's story and the story that the police chief and all told.
Lies the truth.
Between there is the truth.
Mm-hmm. In any event, I didn't think that this guy needed 16 charges brought against him. I felt I would quicker understand them finding him, because you made them go and put out all this investigation. But I can't see you trying to put 16 charges and bury him under the jail when you got way worse things that are happening. And you're going to waste public resources on it. So there was some kind of a deal. And the fact that he forego that $10,000 as well as did some community service, it's clear that he pleads to something. But they clean his record and blah, blah, blah. I don't feel like he should just walk scot-free. But if he did it. But I don't feel that, I feel it was too heavy-handed the way they were doing it. Because the mayor was just like, come on.
I'm curious though, I'm taking it a little further. There's a new mayor. She's black and she's gay. I'm curious to know what her thoughts are on that.
Hopefully
that she
took over from Emmanuel,
let's throw this whole nonsense out.
Hopefully,
because enough is enough.
Right. Hopefully, she is about the business of the people of Chicago and not wasting public time and money on this nonsense. His career is shot.
But
whether he did it or not, the whole thing.
I don't think it's career shot. But
Empire
for right now, I think it's shot. Yeah.
I
heard more people probably watching that.
What's her name? I forget her name now, this actress. Mm-hmm. She said he's all right. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I just read between the lines. Yeah. She said he's all right.
White people do things, here's my feeling. White people do things they shouldn't do all the time. They do wrong things all the time. Why is it that the minute that they think a black person might have done something wrong, they want to go for the blood? They want to go for the guts. Yeah. But let's be honest now, the police chief is not a white person. Mm-hmm. Okay, he's not a white person. And I have a problem too where I see.
Well, he's doing the bidding of someone
Right.
else.
Oh, well, I have a problem.
And they
This
stick
is my
his
feeling.
face up there.
This is my feeling. I have a problem when white America no longer have to go and beat up on us themselves. They have enough of our own to do it. You know, you saw the Michael Jackson story. They had Oprah. They were doing it. They had the R. Kelly. Nobody's a fan of R. Kelly.
Yeah,
You had Gail King doing it.
Yeah.
You know,
There's a lot of beating up.
you had Robin doing the thing with Jesse Smollett. So let's not go out and beat them up ourselves. Let's get these black celebrities or reporters to go do the work for us. And I have a problem with that. I don't think Oprah should have touched that story with Michael Jackson. Let them go do it. Those same boys say he never touched them before. Okay.
Anyway.
All right.
Move on.
So, once again, Amalfi Estevez. Thanks for being on this episode. We hope that you will continue to come back home more often. And well, you don't have to be a prodigal daughter. You can come back, period. But the door is always open, and we're always happy to have you back. Mrs. Harrison, it's been a wonderful time having you on this show. Weiss, Caroline Mitchell Davis, it's always good having you ladies here. And you know what? What we were saying, Amalfi, this is like a sisterhood. You know, I want to go to St. Vincent, to my house, and we all go there on a vacation. If somebody don't mind sharing a bed. Like, you two can share a bed.
I'll go home.
I don't mind.
No, I have like one king-size bed.
I don't share bed with ladies.
Okay.
Oh my God.
That's a topic because I've heard that before.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's
Yeah, we
yes.
talked about that.
And there's a topic.
And I said the
that
same thing. I
Yeah.
don't share bed with ladies.
I don't mind.
Okay,
honestly.
you'll get the small bedroom.
You-
You'll get the middle bedroom,
I go home.
and then you'll share with my room.
And I'm not too far from where
you
you
can
are.
share with me.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'll catch up.
Oh,
Okay, so
that's
you
a
two
problem.
will share. Yeah.
I ain't got an
But
issue.
that's a great idea.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah,
a
well,
good
because
idea.
I live not far from the beach there, and the house is and we have cots and things like that. But I want you guys to be comfortable. I'll quicker give you out my room and sleep on the cot.
What's the fare to go to
And anywhere from about 5 something to over $1,000, depending on the time of year.
wow.
Time of year.
And
Yeah.
I guess if you get it earlier, the
Yeah.
earlier you
And it's not like Christmas or something, then it won't be that crazy.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And
Another
not
end.
all good things come to an end. And we are at the end of season 4 of Caribbean House Talk. And we want to thank you, our viewers, for watching us. We want to thank you for giving us the opportunity to bring to you a lot of information and to be honest with you and really be able to, how can I say, grow with you. You know, I mean, we started out, we were still fumbling about the different pieces, the Dear Help team. Now we just rolled right through it. And it took us 4 seasons to get to this point. Our crew that's helping to get this equipment up and running, get the lights running, get the cameraman. Oh my God, it's been a wonderful, wonderful experience, you know, having you guys watch us and give feedback, and we ask you to continue. And please go to our YouTube channel, type CUEX-TV. It's pronounced QXTV, but it's spelled CUEX-TV. And you look for that on YouTube. You can also go to qxtv.bingewave.com, and we run on a dual platform on YouTube as well as BingeWave. So visit us, send feedback, pay attention to the episodes of this season. We have a lot coming at you, and we will see you next season, world, because we are all over the world. We have fans in Ghana, we have fans in Sierra Leone, we have fans in Brazil, in the Philippines, in the Caribbean, of course, here in North America. So we appreciate you, we love you, we thank you for you giving us that motivation that we need to come to you every episode. Bye bye.
See you next
Love
time.
you.
See you.